Yes, whoa, welcome back once again to another of my tutorial. As what I want to show you today is how to make an English wear or corporate wear. So to go about this, you will need some basic things which is very important for you to know. I've already folded my fabric, but I want to bring you back for something. So let me come back to this other end of my fabric. As you can see, this is my fabric, and if you want to fold any fabric at all, you need to look for the part which is stretchy and be able to put that part at your width. Make sure you put that part which is stretchy at your width, not at your length. Make sure it is at your width, please. So this part now, as you can see, this is an easy way to get the part which is stretchy. You can see this your marks here, which is I call it an English line, which you have already sealed for it not to get loose. So this is the part which you should put on fold. You can see, let me turn it that way. You can see how it is stretchy. But when it comes like this, you can see it is very stiff. It is not moving. But when it is like this, it is stretchy. So make sure when cutting, you make sure it is like this. So I have gone ahead to place mine. And as you can see, this is no longer needed because I don't need these lines to show. You can see it is not clearer as the main fabric. This is an English, as I told you, I used to call it English line because the way they make the end for you not to get loose. So I place it on fold because this is the part which is stretchy. So here will be my width for my blouse which I want to make now, because I want to make a skirt and blouse. And if the video is too long, I will then make the skirts later on. So let me go on to make my top for the blouse, because I want to try to combine both cutting and sewing. So all you need to do is to make sure your half length is completely straight at the down part here. Make sure you roll it with your shock if you can. If you can use your hand to straighten it, make sure you do that. So my half length, to go about this now, my half length is 16, because I'm taking plus sewing allowance all together. My half length is 16 plus my sewing allowance, which is 1 inch. I make it 17. So I come over to this other end to make here 17. Forgot my ruler, let me go and bring it. Okay, back with my ruler. Then you rule your straight line. You rule your lines. Then once you are done doing this, you get your bust measurement plus 2.5. You can make it 3, but me, I want to make mine 2.5. So my bust measurement is 40.5 divided by 4 gives me 10.2. But I'm going to make it 10.5. So this is my 10.5 which I have here, plus my 2.5 inch for sewing allowance. So this is my 10.5 plus my 2.5 inch for sewing allowance. As I told you, I got this my 2.5 inch from the bust because it is the largest part of my measurement. So anytime you want to cut something out, make sure you work with your largest part of your measurement and include your sewing allowance. So what I will do now is to cut out this. So I'm going to cut out my 17 which I have here now. I'm going to cut it out just like this. I want to make sure this will be very easy for you to do. I want to try my best to make sure it is very easy for you to do. So once you are done cutting your front now, I'm going to use it to cut out your back. Yeah, that's what you do now. Use it to cut out your back, because your back will have 1.5 inches for sewing allowance. 1.5 inch for sewing allowance, or you can make it 2. It all depends on how many inches you want for your sewing allowance at the back. So this is what I have here. I want to try to manage this fabric as much as possible so I don't get short of fabric. So I will use what is left here. It will still work very fine for me. I have 1.2 inches for 1.2 inch not up to inches. 1.2 inch for my sewing allowance. So that is what I'm going to use. It will work perfectly fine for me, because I'm still going to trim the sides. So once you have gotten your sewing allowance for the back, what you need to do now is to get your body measurements. And my shoulder to bust measurement is 11. It's 11. I told you we are taking measurements plus sewing allowance, and my underbust is 14. I added my sewing allowance. You should be familiar with this. I don't normally add allowance at the bust here. Then my underbust plus sewing allowance after holding from the shoulder. So all you need to do now is to draw your vertical line. Draw your line. Make sure your line is straight. Make sure it is straight. So after you have done this now, what you will do next, I hope you guys are seeing what I'm doing. So what you do next is to get the midpoint, your nipple to nipple measurement. So my nipple to nipple measurement is 8 divided by 2 gives me 4, plus half inch for sewing allowance gives me 4.5. So I'm going to apply my 4.5 here, 4.5 here, 4.5 here, 4.5 all the way down from the bust line. So you can see from this my bust line to my waistline I have 4.5 there. So what I'm going to do next is to come in by half inch here, come in by half inch at your waistline, bring it down. So in total this is 1 inch. After you bring it down, then you bring down this like this. You can see once you have connected it from this your bust here, bring it down just like that to give you your waist shaping. So come over to our shoulder measurement, because we want to make a princess seam for this. So my shoulder measurement is 15, which divided by 2 gives me 7.5. So I have my 7.5 here, plus 2 inches for sewing allowance. But in this case, we are not going to put our normal data as usual for the bust at the upper part. So I'll come down by 5 inches. So this 5 inches now, at this point I'll come here by 7.5. 7.5. I'm still going to put the same 2 inches at the front there. Just watch closely what I want to do now. So after you have done this, what you are going to do now is to connect your bust from here to this other point here. This is your shoulder measurement. Just connect your point there and take it all the way down. Take it all the way down so you can see what I have here. So this is how I'm going to cut it out, just like this. We are cutting both the front and the back. So you can see this is our front and this is our back because of the zipper allowance which is left for the back. You can see what I have here. So take our front out. Then what you are going to do next is to straighten our back, because it's not going to be as the front. Take out this bulge here, because if you sew it like this, it will bulge out because of the shape that is there. So you just have to blend it a little to straighten that up. So this is it. We are done with the cutting for our front and back. So what you have to do now is to go to your sewing machine and sew. You are going to sew it by half inch. This is the front. So you're going to sew starting from the bottom. You sew from the down part here. You know, you should get used to this. So for beginners, I normally do this so many people don't get confused. So from the bottom up to this extent here, half inch for your sewing allowance. When you get to this part, you cut it off and sew down. You do the same for your back. So let me go ahead and sew, then I come back to you. So here we are. I am done sewing my darts in. You can see the half inch which I told you. So you know we normally work with iron. That is very vital when working. Do work with iron, please. When doing your work with iron. So what I'm going to do next is to give these places a notch. You know how it looks, a notch, just like this. Do this both at this pattern and this back part. Do everywhere a notch. Then you go on to iron it straight. To compile my video, I don't want to show the ironing process. You do know how to iron. If you don't, let me know. Let me show you next time. So go ahead to iron it. So when I'm done ironing, I'll come back and show you how to go. Now this note, after you have done your ironing, this is what you should have after ironing it open. So what you need to do next is to make sure this your dart here is smashing this one at the top, and this one beneath at the down part is also matching this one at the down part. After you've ironed, then iron it nice and flat. So what you are going to do next is to get your body's measurement. So before you get your body measurement, you need to pick our shoulder measurement. Now our shoulder measurement, as I told you, is 7.5. 15 divided by 2 gives us 7.5. So this is 7.5 which I have here. So our armhole is, or my armhole divided by 2 gives me 9. So 9 plus 9 gives you 18. So that is my armhole which I'm using for this my cloth now. So to get your armhole curve, you need your same shoulder measurement, which is 7.5, which I put I bring the same shoulder measurements down here. So after I have done that, you take your straight line, you roll it straight. You roll it straight. So after you have gotten your lines there, you come over to your neck. So my neck, I want it to be 3 divided by 6 divided by 2 gives us 3. So I want it to be 3 here. Then the down part depends on what you want. For mine, I want it to be 6 for my neck depth. This is normal neck shape. You know how to go about this. So I'm coming back with my 3. So I want to give this now my neck shape. I want to see an easy way possible for you to get your neck shape. That's what I'm trying to do now. So this 6 now, come here by 3, and from this 3 parts there now, connect it down. If you have your French curve, it will be okay for you to do it with ease. So this is it for my neck. I'm trying to get the shape I want for my neck. So this is okay. So for my shoulder slope now, we come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. This 1 inch is plus sewing allowance. I told you anything I'm doing here is plus sewing allowance. So after getting my shoulder slope, from this my armhole line now I get my bust measurement. My bust measurement is 40.2 divided by 4. 40.5 divided by 4 gives me 10.2. So this is my 10.2 now, which I have here, plus my sewing allowance of 1.5. Sewing allowance of 1.5. If you are using lining, you can also make this 1.5. If you are sewing it inside, like an inner sewing, if I want to make a gown of inner sewing, I need to show you. So as I told you, I bring up different things. It's not only about sewing. Once it concerns sewing, sorry to say, once it concerns sewing, I bring different things. So this is one of those. So after you have gotten your bust measurement plus a 1.5 inch for sewing allowance, go over to your waist. And my waist is 33.5 divided by 4 gives me 8.2. So that is my 8.2, which I'm going to apply here, plus my 1.5 sewing allowance, which I have here. So this your sewing allowance depends on how many you want it to be. If you are not sure of your measurement, you can make it 2. I'm perfectly sure of my measurement. So to get your armhole curve now, you need to, from this your 8 now, you need to get the midpoint between this your 8 from this your, after minusing your 9 inches, we are left with 8 from this point to this point. So you get your midpoint, which is 4. So this is the 4, that is my midpoint now. So from this 4 now, you have to connect it from this point down to your main bust measurement. So that's what I'm going to do. So you know, as I always say, French curve, I come again, French curve, French curve, French curve, French curve until I get mine. Don't worry. So after connecting it like that, it's time to cut. We go ahead to cut our neck out. Just like this, cut out my neck. This is very, very easy. I want to make it easier for you to understand. This is how I go about my cutting when I want something sweet and easy. So if you follow this process, I bet you are going to come out with the perfect results for your outfit. So this is the front body. So we go over to our back. See, so go over to our back, place it. It should be on an exact form. So this is what we have here. Place it on an exact form. So this is it, exactly the same, and we have our zipper allowance of 1.2 inches as I showed you from the start, which I got here. So at this your back point, you know your back is always higher than your front. Sorry, I stand corrected. Your back is always higher than your front. So for this back now, I want to make it 3 points. That is 3 inches. You can make it 2.5, but 1.5 will be very high. If you want it that, you can also take it down to 1.5, but I want mine to be 3. Let me see, this 3 is too low. So I come up by half, that which is 2.5. That is what I have here. This line depends on what you want. This is what I want. So there is nothing in my head that this must be like. This is what I want for my client, because it depends on what your clients will like. That is what you will do. Don't go and do your own, because I said this is what I want, because I know this will be okay for her. So I'm going ahead to do it like this. Not I'm the only one that wants this neckline, but she will also like it, because she has been saying things about this neck that I've been giving her that is okay for her. So that is it. You can see, so it is very time for play. So let's go straight to the work. So after I'm done with that now, I'll go ahead to cut my facing. I'm coming back. So this is my what I want to use to cut out my inner facing. You know, you guys, I do miss you guys. So even whenever I'm sleeping, I'll always think of you. I need to drop something today. You guys are my second family, and since I've come across and met you guys, your love and support, it has really been amazing. It has really been amazing. So over to our work. Let me put that aside first. I will create a separate video for that. We are doing something else. So this is, you will place your fabric on fold, the same stretchy part as you can see. So I told you, the same stretchy part. You place it on fold like this, and this is for my front. You know, my front is also on fold. All you need to do is to get your neck like this. Make sure it is sitting exactly and perfectly exactly like this. You can see what I'm showing you now. This edge is exactly as the same. Well, let me come down for it to be clear. It is I will cut down like this. So let me go ahead to show you the cutting. So you go ahead to cut. Make sure here is exactly the same form. So go ahead to cut my neckline. Where to cut my neckline. So you can see what I'm doing here, because there won't be any lining for this. I'm going to cut my neckline. So at this point now, I really want to decide any amount I want. I want 5. If you want 10, it all depends on you. Don't call me. I said any amount you want. This is what I want. So go ahead and do what you want. Don't mention my name. So cut out. Please permit me. I just want to make this sewing very easy for you to understand that it is fun when sewing. It is really fun. I don't want my background to disturb me, because I normally even dance when sewing, to tell you how I enjoy working, doing what I love doing. So when you are done with the front, you are still going to apply the same for the back. So this is my facing for the front, which I have here now. Facing for the front. So go ahead to cut out your back. Place the same unfold, the same stretchy part which we did as the front. So your back now, you're still going to place it exactly. Remember, I have not cut out my zipper allowance. I will cut it out. Don't worry about that. I will cut it out. So place it exactly the same way you placed your front. Exactly the same way you place your front, then you cut out. This is very easy. If you see the process we took, there was not a lot of calculation like there and here, then we still arrive at the same thing. No pattern making. But if you want me to draft it on pattern, just comment down below. I will still draft it on pattern. Then come back again to get, let me still use the same 5 inches which I used for the front, for this back also. So just like this, with a free hand, you can go smoothly, freely, and easy, faster more than pattern. But I'm not saying use pattern, no, please. So pattern will give you an accurate job more than your free hand. But free hand is once. You know, when using free hand, you don't need anything to. You draw it like an artist. So that is it. I hope you were paying attention to what I was doing. Forget my talking. So I went ahead to slice it up open, because there's going to be zip that will pass through this point. So what you are going to do now is to sew. This thing is really fun. I enjoy coming out every day to express myself to you guys, you know. I want it to be fun. Sewing is really fun. If you know what you are doing, it will be easier for you to do. So you take 0.0, either 0.2 or 0.3. That is what you are going to sew from here. Don't take it up to half, please. From here down here, then you notch. I'll still come back to that before I iron. Then here also, you're also going to place, because everyone has their own facing, you're also going to place it like this. Then sew upward. Do the same for this other part. Do the same for this other part. And sew, you know. So let me go ahead and do that.